Hey folks, Ben from eXplorminate here, and this is episode 6 of our Shadow Empires Let's Play on a lava planet, and we are the eXplormination. In the last episode, I was taking a look at surrounding Jura. In fact, I wasn't just taking a look at it, that's what I was doing. Let's get the units back on the map. Here we go. So we're starting to encircle Jura. I made a bit of a false move with a group move with some of these units, which was a bit of a mistake, but that's no problem. It doesn't really matter, I don't think, which angle we attack from here, providing that I do get some units into these mountains, into these low mountains, to stop any enemies escaping. Now the way that this works is with the minor regimes is once we take Jura, that is it. We will actually gain access to all of their cities, all of their territory around, and any of these little towns will immediately integrate that into our regime, and their kind of free-man forces will just melt away. So we don't have to worry too much about that. I think I've done everything I need to do for this turn before we roll it on. I'm just gonna see if we've got anything we can use. What does this one do? Economic bonus points. Interesting. Economic bonus points. I don't know how the bonus point system works. Perhaps if anybody's watching, they can enlighten me on this. I could actually take a look at the manual and not be lazy. This might be worth using. It's only 5 political points. Production next turn will benefit from 2,500 economic bonus points, minimal 50% increased production. So I think the way that these bonus points work with research and economy is they must be used in the calculation that creates your bureaucratic points and your research points, that kind of stuff. So it must be something to do with that. No doubt something that will give us maybe our private sector some kind of bonus. I need to look that up. Anyway, let's move on to the next turn. Now, I don't think Jura Republic are going to... They're not going to put up too much of a fight. We killed 200 infantry and we lost 100 infantry, 10 guns, 10 motorized. Well, I maybe spoke too soon. You kept your promise to our subjects to go to war with Jura. That's good. We'll have increased our word score, and we gained submission, which I think is, I think that's an autocratic. I think that's something to do with autocratic. Okay, your factions generate one new stratagem. Let's just see what we got there. And proficiencies, submission. Yes. So when you hit 60 points of autocracy, this unlocks suppress unrest, a stratagem called pillage, and a stratagem called assassinate leader. Excellent. So this is all stratagems that we can use. Okay. Firstly, let's take a look at our decisions. Reformist army demands that you hire their candidate. Now, these candidates aren't always that good. Now, it would be good to make these guys happier with me. Pax John Dark, particularly, being our the commander of the first SHQ, it's important that he likes us. Yeah, I mean, he does have a bonus to high command, which is useful for us. I'm going to take it anyway. I think it's good to have a leader. It could be a problem later down the line if it turns out to be a bad leader, but Micah Chambers has reported to the reserve pool. Let's see what this Micah Chambers is. Okay, and we just... There she is. Level 1. She likes fists and autocracy, which is good because so do I. Technical rating's 27, and she's an inventor. She might actually be quite good if we put her into our... Let's just see our organizations. And it was a military research guy. This guy wasn't particularly skilled. Let's get rid of him. Who's on the Economic Council again? Yeah, this guy... I mean, this guy's okay at prospecting. He's got a better... He's kind of more to do with interpersonal. He'd be better off as some kind of governor, maybe. I mean, economic is what we really want to be pushing stuff into at the moment, but military research is also important. And this person just doesn't really have any skill in that. He would be much better. Let's relieve him. Now, we promised him, like, what happens here is firing a leader with little seniority ranking will have the following consequences. So the faction members will suffer, same faction members will suffer a negative 2% to their relation levels with you. Other leaders will suffer negative 1. If you make a promise for another or better job, this effect on the leader will be halved. So let's just promise another job. So he's lost 18 points. He's upset because we've given him the sack. So what we need to do now is immediately we need immediately to swap these guys around. So let's go to organizations, military research council. I think we next turn we'll get the option to put him into this council job. So we'll just leave that for now. And let's just deal with that last decision. We need to raise our bureaucratic assets by at least 2 levels. We need to do this by round 18, and it is currently round 10. So we've got 8 rounds. That is something we can do, I think. That will be a matter of just building a building inside inside Richter Snow itself. And if we just go to assets, they're in government. Here we go. There's bureaucratic officers. It doesn't take a lot of resources, although there's a fair bit of metal. It's 200 metal, but the main issue is that it's going to drain more power. However, it will give us an increased bureaucratic points, and that translates directly into research and other good stuff. So yeah, that's a good thing for us to be doing anyway. Now we lost. Let me just go to the history. Let's find where this battle was. Here it was. Yeah, they pushed us back. We actually inflicted 100 losses on them, including some of their bikers, which is good. But we lost some artillery, and we lost some trucks, and we also lost 100 men. It's not the end of the world, but we don't really want losses. Losses must be avoided if at all possible. Okay, let's just have a look at the first light infantry brigade and figure out. Well, they're all about the same, so we're just going to start moving these guys around. There we go. I don't like to get the commander involved, because what happens is, although the command unit does have some soldiers in, there is a chance that the commander can die in combat, and we don't want to lose it. We don't want to lose anybody at this point. It's just not worth it. Okay, so it looks like all of their units now have moved into Jura itself, and this is good for us because it means we've surrounded them. Now, the way that supply works with the minor regimes is they can always bring in some supply, so you can't just siege them and cut them off. I think it's definitely different with the major factions, but I think with these guys, it's assumed that they've got some kind of subway punk network, trading networks, and underground hidey holes and that kind of thing that they can bring supplies in. Also, and this is something that isn't made clear, these hexes are actually about 200 miles, or is it 200 kilometers by 200 kilometers? So they're not squares, they're hexes obviously, but yeah, they are absolutely huge amounts of area. So if we're thinking that the UK would probably be about this big, maybe something like that, not very big at all. So yeah, these are huge areas. So if you've just got 3,000 men sat, or even 10,000 men sat in a 200 square mile area, or 200 hex mile area, or 200 kilometers even, it's not going to be that easy to cover all that space with just a few men. Anyway, let's just have a look elsewhere now. I think, yeah, we've done most of what we can here. I suppose we can bombard them. We don't have much in the way of artillery units, but we can at least start taking down their entrenchment a little bit. Okay, we are doing some damage to them as well. It's not going to be a lot, but just to remove their readiness and their entrenchment is worth it. Yeah, look, we only did like a little bit. These artillery units we've got really are quite piddling, unfortunately. I mean, if we were to attack, the odds are only 1 to 1. We could eventually grind them down, but I don't like doing that. It's just not. The more casualties that you get, the more war weariness that you will start accumulating, and I can't remember quite where this is, if it actually tells you where this is modelled, but yeah, there is a war weariness mechanic in this, and if you get a lot of casualties, you start getting a lot of casualties, then your people will be really upset with you. Okay, so we've got these now, and we want to hold them. I think that what we need to do is build a road up here. How much resource? Oh yeah, we've definitely got. Ah no, this is what we're missing, and that is because we're building this mine. Yeah, we've now got some kind of bottleneck in our industrial capacity. So let's see. I think it is just this metal mine. Now I think we've got all the machines that we need for it. Let's build another one. Let's buy another one. I might have used one somewhere that I wasn't aware of. So let's just buy another machine. They are expensive, but I mean, to be honest, we need them anyway. Let's just buy a couple. We've got plenty of money. Money isn't something that we need to worry too much about at the moment. Let's just keep exploring. Let's bring them back slightly up just so that we're not too far out of the supply range. They're still in supply, that's okay. These guys, this is Vomanum territory, and they might well start moving into our... if we move this militia unit, they probably will start expanding. I think this is Red Bar. It's that luxury brothel we found. We've actually already got one of those. And this is something that I found out in my other game. I don't know if you remember, but we got this courtesan. Now the courtesan, we can actually go back and talk to her again. I can't remember which council it is that you speak to, but it might be our secretary. Let's just have a look. No, it isn't. Well, basically, at some point in the game, we'll be able to actually go back and talk to the courtesan and buy her services again. And she's relatively cheap, and she actually gives a pretty big bonus, but she only works on men. Yeah, so for some reason, it's only the men in this game that are really... Ah, what is this? We've been given some territory here. Okay, did I miss something? Just have a look what we've got. Foreign affairs news. No. Now we've been given some territory here, and some 2 militia units. We've got a science vessel as well. We really want to connect this up. Also, however, we have this. This is the Moribund Commune. Now these guys are probably raiders too. We don't have much recon in these zones here. Perhaps we'll just move. Let's just see what these are. The first Jura rebel unit. Ah, these are the 5th columnists. Right. Okay, that's right. They promised us 5th columnists, didn't they? And they did deliver. And we've got a science vessel here as well. What does that do? Derelict spaceship. This gives us 100 bonus research points, which is great at this stage of the game. Now, where's this? This is all part of Jura Republic as well. We want to move down here because these guys will lose their supply. So what we need to do is we need to quickly reconnect this territory here, and hopefully these guys will keep away from us. Well, that was good. So let's try to reconnect these roads. I'm just going to see where we've got supply to. Supply is only reaching this far so far. Next turn. Oh, next turn we'll be getting loads. Okay. I want to see what's happening there. Did we have this supply at the start? No. There's the bottleneck. Look. So we don't have any industrial points to be able to extend our roads, unfortunately. It looks like the next turn we're going. This truck station will be starting to work properly. Let's have a quick look at what's going on here. Oh, we're starting to lose food. So I think this is because our colonies are growing. We do need urgently now to start thinking about food. We do have the money to be able to start buying some, but it's a very, very bad idea to rely on trade for food, because as soon as they realize that you're relying on them, they start pumping the prices up. So at the moment they're not expensive, but we don't want to be relying on food on the traders for food. It's just not a good thing. So that means two things. First, we need water. Secondly, we need a dome to grow our food in, and that dome requires both electricity and water. I'm hoping that we are lucky and we get an early tech to allow us to get a power station. I think I said in my other game it was 100 turns before I managed to get any power station technologies. Okay, I think we're good to go. Let's have a quick look at these. It might be worth sending a spy into Moribund here. Mind you, we have all these too. Now these, it was Lazareria that we've got some kind of treaty with, or at least an agreement not to bother one another. Let's have a look at these guys. Let's send in. Oh, that difficulty roll is quite high though. What about here? I wonder why that's so high. Oh, that's because it's a major regime. Okay, so these are a major. These are one of our main rivals in the game, and they use different rules to the minor factions. They're like they're the guys we're really up against. So we bumped into one of those quite early, which is not surprising. They will expand too. It's going to be difficult for us to get a spy in there, and I don't want to upset them too much so far. So let's. Oh, we failed. Luckily, we escaped detection of the covert operations, so that was a bad roll. Never mind. I'm tempted to try again, but let's just leave it for the now. I'll save the spy for where I really need it, I think. Suppose we could increase income tax. That's quite a high roll as well, though. Yeah, difficulty 80. It's just over. It's just over 50-50. That's not good odds for us. Okay, this might be useful. I don't know if we'll be able to get it though. I think I found the roll on this can be quite high. Yeah, it's 125, and we've got 64. So again, it's just over 50%. 50% chance to get that. What this does is you play it on a friendly zone, and then you find a new archaeological find. The ruins also often give you archaeological finds as well, so they're worth exploring. Okay, let's just roll the turn on. Just make sure we don't need ammo. No, we've got plenty of ammunition. Let's go. Okay. We killed 300 infantry and lost 200 infantry, 10 guns, 10 motorized. So is that probably that same unit they attacked? We're nearly out of this phase now. Once we hit the next phase, we'll actually get some. Stratagems and probably fate points as well. So we found 10 GR Velociraptors. Is that the one we've already got? I think it is. I think that's that tank, those laser tanks. And we got a Medal of Merit. We can give this to somebody if they've got low loyalty. Okay, look, now we've got loads and loads of supply going up. So finally, this truck station that we built. I'm just going to let's just hide the units here. So bear with me a minute. I'm going to go into the traffic light setting. Here we go, 1333. So we're now kicking out lots of transport. This is good. This means we could build units here. Or we could actually raise some units almost on them on Jura. There's enough. For example, I'll just show you. We can use strategic. If we want to raise a formation, we can use the strat move to immediately raise a formation close to where they are. However, we don't have the resources because at the moment we're running low on industrial points. That is going to be our main bottleneck with regards to pumping our economy and military up. Is going to be industrial points, so we need to figure that out straight away. Let's look at our decisions. Ironsight found an unusual companion. Okay. Ironsight basically wants to take a citizen with her on all her travels and works. Obviously your boyfriend or girlfriend. I know civilians are normally not allowed to have access to our secrets of state, but I hope you'll make an exception for me. Now this person is somebody that I need not being upset. I don't normally, I personally wouldn't allow such trivialities. However, it will raise our relations with these people. And it will also raise commerce, which we could do with raising a little, and it will raise fist for some reason. Or we could say, no, this is completely against all regulations, and we could lose some commerce and we'll gain mind. Or we can give her a good telling off for even suggesting such an arrogant idea, which will decrease her relations significantly, probably by about 20 or 30, depending. I think there's probably a dice roll involved, but it'll be about 20 or 30. But that will raise heart. Now, I'm not sure. Yeah, that doesn't seem right to me. I would have thought these two should be swapped around. Well, anyway, I'm going to say yes. That will make her like me more anyway, and I want her to like me. And also, it's not going to hurt us by jumping up a level in commerce. Remember, we can raise any of these up to 50 without them affecting any of the others. It's only, you can see here, look, because autocracy is in green and it's affecting meritocracy in blue, so in red, which means that any increases here is going to affect this. So the policy speech is due. The Politburo and your subjects are eager to hear about your short-term priorities. A choice between the following 3 goals is expected. So we can raise the we can set a goal to raise the average entertainment of the zones by 5 points. We could take the city Odessa. I don't know where that is. The goal is to reach the BP production of 78 bureaucratic points. Now this would be useful because I think we've made didn't we make a demand for something? Yeah, so Justice Knights demanded bureaucratic assets reach at least 2 levels anyway. So let's make this promise. It will raise our government level, which isn't going to hurt anything, and also we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone there and gain a big jump. Now there's a new director for the Military Research Council. So now we've freed up this person. She's an inventor. Now inventors gain a bonus to discoveries. Discoveries is good, so let's put Micah Chambers in. She actually turned out to be a good buy, or a good deal. Okay. A group of 1,000 refugees is trying to enter the zone Richter Snow. They're fleeing from Odessa Federation. President of Odessa Federation has radioed us to make clear we should not allow them in. This will give us an opportunity to raise fist by 6. Now, I normally do this. However, I would quite like to get heart up past 50 and get that character loyalty bonus of plus 40%. That's a big bonus. That's a really big bonus. And although fist is also good, I mean, we've not even got volunteerism here, but this gives 33 chance on extra militia battalion until round 20. So we'd have another 9 rounds of that. We'd want to get that quite quickly. After that, there's a 10% chance up until turn 100. After that, it's 3% chance, and it gives us the stratagem No Retreat, which is an infantry defense plus 75, infantry attack negative 75, no retreat allowed. So it's a super defense stratagem. So that would be good to go for. But then we've got heart as well. And we wanted to raise heart up to friendship, because then we get character loyalty bonus plus 40%. I mean, that's significant. And it gives us force march as well. What does that do? Infantry and artillery get plus 50 action points, but then they lose 50 minus 40 on attack and readiness. That's pretty cool as well. So we could rapidly redeploy if we needed to. You see, this is the thing. I really love this government system's great. It's so cool. Which one to choose though? Let's go with heart. I want that loyalty bonus. That's great. When I first started playing this, the first video that I kind of watched was Daz. I was watching Daz Tactics. I'm a big fan of Daz Tactics videos, and he's so great at explaining stuff, man. By the way, if you ever want to learn how to play a game, and it's something that Daz plays, go and watch his Let's Plays, because he's so thorough, and he's just really good at he's really good at games, and he thinks really carefully about what he's doing. So yeah. Anyway, sorry, I was watching Daz, and Daz was going, okay, I want to go for autocracy, so I'm just going to put everything into autocracy. I was like, I want to be like Daz, so I did the same thing. And so the first few games that I played, I pretty much put everything into autocracy and into Fist to really go for the military side of things. And you really do that. You're missing out on some of the nuance of the game if you do that. It's very effective if you want to really go down those routes, because some of the bonuses that you get are quite significant. But it doesn't just pay to try to play this game, this particular political game in just one direction. There's nuance to it, and there are great bonuses to be had in all of these, and they're significant bonuses. I mean, much later on, some of the things that you can do, some of the stratagems that you can play, like most of the diplomacy is locked behind things like democracy and meritocracy, but for example. So much of the diplomatic and espionage things that you can do in the game are actually locked behind these. So it's important to at least consider them, because they are situationally very useful. Let's carry on. An envoy from Moribund Commune has entered our territories. He requests to open a line of communication. Okay, this was the major regime. I think it's wise at this point to at least accept diplomacy. We don't want to go to war with a major early on. We can't handle that. And they are going to be our direct neighbours as soon as we've taken Jura. Look, they're on our borders here. Look, we found a tank too. Happy days. Let's immediately bring this tank in. We'll bring it in down here. It's got so many movement points it can attack already. That's because it's got a really overpowered nuclear engine. I think it's this model, the Velociraptor. Yeah, it's got a light laser gun, 25mm liquid armor, and a nuclear engine, so it's extremely overpowered. It gives us a move modifier of plus 10%. This thing can shift. Now let's move these. These guys are out of supply. Let's take that and open the supply routes up. Don't need these guys right here yet. I'll bring these guys. I'll bring these two military units up. They've taken a bit of a pounding, but I think we got enough now that we can start. Still only 2%. You see, this game really favours the defenders, and much like in real warfare, anybody who's well entrenched is going to really cause a lot of damage to you. Also, remember that attacking with infantry is just not ideal. Most of these modifiers that we're getting are coming from our tanks and our buggies, but this is just not good odds. Also, notice that sometimes when you add them, they're reducing the odds. Now, the reason being is because if there's a certain combat width, if you understand that mechanic from some of the Paradox games, there's a form of combat width in this too, and you will lose attack effectiveness if you're using too many troops attacking from one direction at once. They get in one another's way, and there's not enough room for them to effectively work together. So let's bombard them again. Even though it's just a small amount, it's worth doing. It's just worth doing just to try and take down their defenses somewhat. Yeah, we did knock down their entrenchment and reduce their readiness. That is worth doing, and those artillery units aren't going to be much good anyway if in a direct attack. You'll notice now that our odds will probably be somewhat better. Maybe not. The reason is because we don't have those actual units themselves engaging. I'm going to go for it. We are going to take some casualties here. I think they might have got the better of us here. Okay, we didn't lose too much though. That's not bad. We didn't. It looks like we Yeah, we did lose some of our regular troops, but what are soldiers if not to die, eh? I hope Rob doesn't hear me say that. Let's carry on like that never happened. So yeah, that is good because we did actually kill a significant number of their troops as well, and it reduces their readiness. Next turn we can go in for another attack. Like I said, it's not generally good to throw hordes of your troops at the enemy thinking that that you can get away with that scot-free, because it does cause you war weariness problems. I do think that there's probably certain mechanics in this game that enable you to alleviate that somehow, and I wouldn't be surprised if we took a closer look at the management page that we might find some interesting things in there. We've found some more metal in here. Now that is good. That's very good. Let's just move these chaps down here and just open up this area a little bit more. And we've got more radioactives. Now, here's a great choice, right? Radioactives at this part of the game trade for a lot. We can buy them at 73. We haven't got currently any that we can sell, but if we were to start mining radioactives relatively fast, we wouldn't probably have to worry about food, water and food, because we could probably sell, at least for a while, we could actually trade for that. It's not the smart. It's probably not the best move to do. Excuse me. It's probably not the best move to do, but that is one option. Radioactives, they take energy to bring out, and you're only bringing out 10 every turn. But if you can sell them for 50 each, which is quite likely, then you're making 500. It's an extra 500 a turn that you can make. Just bear in mind that you are then distributing them around the world. We've got more radioactives here. Look, I think we might find that they might be more common than we think on this planet, than you might like to think. Okay, that's mostly what we can do. These guys are quite out of supply, weren't they? Then I wonder what kind of supply they're going to have next turn. Well, we've got a supply point here. Let's go to replenish troops. Now we've lost some men. We need to start replacing them. So there we go. We've got 3,000 GIs. That's worth spending that money on. We want to bring those guys back up. Let's just see how we're getting on with this. 1.2 turns. Yeah, it's going to take some time for this to build, I'm afraid. It would have been better definitely for me to build the recycling, the scavenger building first. But, hindsight is a bitch. Okay, no losses, no kills. So it looks like the Jura... Oh, a new zeitgeist wanders through the land. We are entering a crisis of passion. It's an invasion of thoughts. We are entering a crisis of passion. The effect in your zone is your zones run the risk of suffering unrest-related events. The current strength of this effect is light. In 6 turns, the effect of Crisis of Passion will come into full force. So you made it into a new epoch. You gained 1 fate point. And we've completed sealed roads. This is excellent news. We discovered a new tech, hospital. So our discovery team have found something. Why don't we not professionalize the local hospices and doctor offices? We have developed an idea for a large-scale facility that would be much more efficient in curing and treating patients. And we've discovered padded envirosuit. Why not just patch on some armor on our envirosuits? If we research this, we could equip new infantry models with this type of light armor. That will be something good to get as soon as possible. It will give us a significant bonus over the raiders that we were fighting. We found a stockpile of 562 credits. That's great. And we've got another one of these double shifts, stratagems. So, metals. Oh, is that metal factory done? No, it's not finished quite yet, but we're getting quite high on metal. I was going to say we could sell them maybe, but we've actually got quite a lot of money already, so we don't need to do such a thing. Okay. Now it's time for another push. Yeah, we managed to reinforce. If we just look at these units and go to their supply, we'll be able to we can take a look at which units actually took casualties. whether they're requesting replenishment or not. Now the militia units, the ones marked with an M, we've got no control over whether they're replenished or not. The SHQ doesn't have anything to do with those guys. They're controlled entirely by the AI with regards to replenishment. But our units, these regular units, now if you lose any of them, we have to replace them ourselves, and you saw me do that with this produce replacement troops. So all those GIs that we created, they've all been transported up here. Yeah, they've actually reached where they needed to go already. So first things first, let's look at the decisions we've got to make. So what do we research? Do we research the hospital first, or do we research the barracks? Both of these are going to give us a bonus to Richter Snow, sorry. So one of them will raise, hang on a sec, yeah, one of them raises the health, quality of life with regards to health, and one of them security. So let's go for security. I think that might be helpful in the long run. Odessa Federation demands regular relations. Okay, so they want us to secure their, or to decide whether we secure their borders. Which one of those? Let's look at this strategic map. See how the strategic map's starting to take shape. This becomes much more useful the more territory that you conquer. So where's Odessa Federation? There they are there. I just want to see what is down there. Here's Odessa Federation. What I should do, I just can't quite get my road back there. If we say no, they'll invade us. I'm telling you that. That's what's going to happen. And at the moment, we could probably raise another formation with resources that we have, but then we're in a race against time with food. And also we're going to start spending a lot on ammunition. Let them have that. I think we're going to have to let them have that for the time being. I don't like to give an inch in this in any game. I'm a real hard ass usually. I don't like NAPs. I don't like them. I don't really tolerate anybody settling cities next to me. I'm quite aggressive with the way that I settle my own cities in 4X games, but I think in this case we need to say yes. Unfortunately, it's gonna cause a bit of a problem, but that's fine. At least the Odessa Federation now. Are they a major or a minor? I didn't look. They're a minor regime, and they're raiders as well. So we're at peace with them for now. It won't be a big problem for us to reduce their relations and then go and attack them again. I want to do something about this. What I do about this, I don't know, but something has to happen. Okay, these militia units. I think this area is worth guarding and expanding on. Okay. 0.6 of a turn left. I'm hoping this will be done next turn, and then we are freeing up those industrial points. Yeah, we're still not making many industrial points. So, with that in mind, do we go for another attack here? 44 entrenchment. Now, like I say, there's real nuance to this game. At the moment, in the combat, we don't really have much choice about what we can use. We're mostly stuck with the basic infantry, and then we've got buggies and that kind of thing. But later, we need to start thinking about what material that the enemy is using. When I say that, I mean what table of equipment they're using in their formations. So are they using tanks? What armor thickness have they got on their tanks? Because when you need to think about the armor thickness, because you need to think about what weapons you're going to bring with you, and the different unit types work better against certain types than others. And it's not just some simple rock paper scissors thing necessarily, although there are some some kind of like straight bonuses where certain things do work better against others. But for example, some type of tanks work better in assault, and certain types of tanks like tank destroyers work better in defense. So there's real nuance in this, and we don't really get to see that so much at the start of the game. Although there is one particular bonus that is worth considering in the early game. One, buggies act kind of like an early tank unit. against these squishy raider infantry. They don't have much in the way of armor to protect their gooey soft innards. So and the machine guns that these let's have a look at one of these units. Look, these crossbillies. They've got a machine gun, a basic machine gun. They've only got 5mm steel plating, which isn't going to stop even a normal round, like from a basic raider gun is likely to penetrate this kind of armor. But they've got some armor, and they're also I think they must also get some kind of bonuses, because look, they've got a soft attack of 40, which is pretty good, and a soft defense of 79, so they're actually quite good in defense too. So they act like an early tank. They're a good counter to infantry, and I think we're going to go for another attack on these guys.
Do it now.
How are we doing? Yeah, I mean, I can keep pumping troops out, and they can't. So as long as I kill a few of them, I'm kind of happy. Although we might have lost more there than they did, which is not good. Let's just go to the textual. So we lost 700 men, and they lost just over 700. They also lost their tanks, or some of their tanks. That's going to make things a lot easier. We didn't lose any of our velociraptors. Okay, it could have been worse. We need to wait for their readiness to come back up. Oh, we had another unit we could have attacked with. Well, that's no problem. Let's just move these in. And we've got another militia unit here, so I'm immediately going to use this to start scouting down to this side. It's important we start pushing our borders out as quickly as possible in this direction now. I don't mind if this becomes some kind of siege warfare thing. I don't like to do it in games because it's inelegant, and it's tactically a bit you know, it's not very clever. However, this technique that I use it will whittle them down. We've just got to be careful not to take any too many heavy losses. Okay, the ambassador from the Moribund Commune proposes we actually go to embassies in each other's nations. Oh, I'm going to accept the embassies. Oh, mind you, these guys aren't going to like it. These warhawks don't want an embassy. Look, these are autocratic fists. They'd rather us kill. They'd rather us kill our opponents. Now, yeah, this would. No, I'm going to go for the embassies anyway, because it might give us the opportunity to start looking at some of the diplomacy stuff. I can take the hit to our loyalty that's going to give us. It's not a big problem. So have a quick look at the strategic cards. Can we get any spies into their area yet? Yeah, it's a bit of a tough roll. I'm going to go for it anyway. Yeah, we got one in. We got one spy in. So you'll see that we've got stratagems that can work on majors, and we've got stratagems that can work on minor factions. So these are all the cards that the AI uses as well. So the AI major factions have these cards. I think they play mostly by the same rules that you do. So they have these cards, and this is what they're using on you when you get these decisions to make. At least I think that's how it works. Double shifts. I might use this double shifts again and get those economic bonus points.
Roger that.
Why not? Well, just before I roll the turn on, I would quite like to have a look at what we've got in Richter's No. With regards to our private sector, are they building anything is what I want to know. So we've got a private lab, a library, transport hub, scavenging, and the dome farm. Now this dome farm is useful because we could actually nationalize that if we started running out of food. Now we would take a hit. This might be worth doing, you know. We are starting to lose food. I'll leave it for now. I'll leave that for now and come back to that decision later. Let's just do we have to replenish any food? Yeah, we lost 500 men, so let's. Well, we can only build 2. Well, let's send those 200 troops back up and roll the turn. And I'm probably It's probably not good for me to save it at the end at the start of a turn. So what I'll do is I'll play one more turn, even though we're in 45 minutes in this video now. That's okay. Why stop when we're having fun, eh? No losses, no kills, crisis of passion, and we've gained curiosity. Now this is a mind-based regime feat, which gives us a bonus to our research. So we want that. That's great, and it's a big bonus too. Just look at that one. So, oh no, beg your pardon. So technology fascination, that was a 30% research bonus, and we get an infiltration stratagem and also a techno mage. This is these unit feats. These kind of are added to your infantry or your formations, and they give a certain benefit. Techno mage particularly gives anybody attacking themselves a 50% penalty in their attack. These are big bonuses these guys give. For example, Warlust. This one gives People's Heroes. They inspire troops that are embedded with and increase their attack value with plus 40%. That's plus 40% to their attack. That's a huge bonus. So you see why it's important to work your way up these. And you know, once I've learned what all these do, I'm going to be able to analyze the game situation and plot my trajectory through them and say, okay, I've got some entrenchment I need to get through, so I'm going to go for strength of will, and because we get these bunker busters, which we've already got now. You'll see these start to appear in our regular units, but bunker busters, they reduce enemy entrenchment points by 50%. That's 50%. It's a huge bonus. So yeah, okay. See, these guys, their readiness is down. Let's just look at the which one? I think this is. I can never remember which one it is. Just bear with me, guys. Action points. Readiness. It's the lightning. So 41. They need to wait some turns. I'd like to keep the pressure up, but I think the best way to do that is just to keep bombarding. Just these 3 small artillery units. Oh, we managed to kill a truck, though.
Copy that.
Every bit of damage is good, as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, we didn't manage to... We reduced their entrenchment a little, but I think it's likely that they entrenched themselves in more than actually we managed to reduce over that turn. But no matter. We might be worth just seeing... Okay, yeah, we now the odds are really going up. Look, so let's remove. We don't want to add anything that's got really low readiness, because that's going to be a problem. Where are we? Yeah, we want the higher odds that we can get. Notice how the odds are different. You can add and remove them, and you'll get different odds. I'm not sure why that is. See, now we're right down to 4.5. It's there's some voodoo magic going on under the hood here. I'm not quite sure what is causing that. I don't know if that's just because it gives you a different kind of estimation each time. I don't really know. Okay, let's try this. We should be able to do some damage. Come on, guys, you can do it. Oh, it's looking better this time. We finally ground them down. Their readiness was low. Oh, it's going to be close though. Look. Okay, they held, but we didn't lose much, but they lost a big proportion of their men. This has been a costly battle for us. I mean, look how many men we're throwing at them. This just goes to show you the power of defense. Also, infantry is better in defense. It's twice as effective in defense as it is in attack, and we're mostly attacking with infantry. So, you know, next turn we've got them. I think we're going to get them next turn. If we're looking at their readiness, look, their readiness level is quite low. Very low. I mean, the readiness level on my guys is going to be pretty low now too, but we've got some hardware, and they don't have the same hardware that we have. Yeah, let's just see what we can explore. So we can get down this end. Who's this? This is Vernamen. Okay, is that the same? Oh, it's the same territory as this. I do want to bring some kind of formation up that direction soon. Just expand a little bit out here. Have we got enough industrial points? Yes, we have. That is because now we've finally created this mine. The construction is finished this turn. We are now going to be... We will see an increase to the metals right now, and that's because we're not putting them into the mine anymore. Next turn we'll see the production from the mine, and we're going to get a lot of metal. Now that we've got the metal, it's worth building our... I think we should go for water next, probably. Maximum storage, yeah, we need to get some more water. So if we go to construct and mining, and then we can build a nice mining facility. 2 rounds, we're going to need two machines, which we've got, and 125 metal and 125 IP. Let's get those. Let's get that immediately. We'll start getting the water. The next job will be to get ourselves some food, and then we can really support some bigger armies. I don't like to field bigger armies than I need. At the same time, there is a feeling of power that comes from having large forces. More pertinently, the more men that we've got, the more we can start rolling this back. In fact, I have an idea, and I think I'm going to raise another formation. We can't build any brigades yet, although that might be because we're not doing it in our town. Raise formation. Yeah, we still don't have enough. It's manpower that we're missing. On the contrary, if we build some buggies, which are fairly good at recon, that's going to cost 500 men, 65. Although it's going to, I'll leave it. I'm going to leave it. I want that ice mine first. I think, yeah, and those buggies really, where are they going to be used? Well, we can use them to push back along here. So let's get them. Let's get them now. I'm going to do it. Let's get the buggies. An independent unit. They can always, there we go. And then we can always attach them to one of our formations afterwards. They will get used. Ironsight wants to organise a party. Aren't you the wild child? I feel that we do not show enough gratitude to our veterans. My plan is to organise a grand party for all our vets, including a parade. I'd like to support this effort with my own humble means and leadership. Okay. Ironsight relation increase would be good. Government and heart. Or we could say no, but we'll pass your suggestion on to a responsible bureaucrat and get mind. Mind would be good here. And it's also going to cause a big problem with our advisor. The advisor doesn't like this decision. That will be because he doesn't like government or heart, I expect. Yeah, he's not a fan of government. He really doesn't like government. Look, strongly hates this profile. So anything that raises government is going to be a problem for him. I just want to have a quick look at what government gives you. Bureaucracy. Bureaucratic bonus 40%. That's big. That's really, really big. Although we have 1% chance to gain it every turn. Why is it so low? I think it must be because we were only on 40 points. Yeah, that'll be it. It seems to add 1 point every turn. 1 point over 40 gives you 1%. I see how that works. So, yeah, that would be good. I mean, extra bureaucratic points would be really, really useful. Yeah, let's do it. Sorry, man. I'm going to upset you, but I think we can counter that with a well-placed stratagem. Supreme Command Council task priorities. So what do we want? Political power or general stratagems? I'll leave it where it is because they're both kind of important. Our spies in Moribund Commune have found info. One of our spies in Moribund Commune has obtained a document that reveals their first citizen is involved in severe misdoings. We can influence their internal politics by giving this information to a faction of our choice. Right, what we need to do now is look at this major regime, the Moribund Commune. They're a major regime. Now, they're a Republican, and Republicans are a little bit more friendly than normal, I think. Although it depends on their the personality of the party that is in charge. Now, at the moment, the party that's in charge are called the Real Politicas. That's their type of their party, but they're called the Democratic Trade League. These guys are much more likely to be friendly. They're all about democracy and commerce because they're the trade league. So we could actually build a relationship with these guys if we wanted. If we just look at our relative tech, culture, and admin level, sort of 4 to 1, let's just say. What are we on? 4, 3 to 1. So they're more advanced than us already. These guys we probably don't want to be going to war with early. I mean, we could. It might be fun, but I don't know. I think I'd rather not take on a major regime early on. I'm not talking from experience here. I'm just musing out loud. I think it would probably be better for us to go for the minor, take as much territory from the miners as possible, get more zones, build up our. Hopefully, we can build up quicker than these guys, and if we can keep them sweet. I mean, look, their relationship with us at the moment, their mood is friends. They want to be friends with us, and their relationship is 55. Their desired relationship is 38. So, actually, they don't want to be quite as friends as they're making out. They'd like a reduction. I'm going to boost their trade league party.
Roger that.
Now that I could, because I know that these guys are less likely to go to war with me, at least according to the manual. Now we've got actually eyes on what their territory looks like. What can we see? They've got ice mine, algae dome farm, transport hub. That's the usual sort of stuff that you get with a starting city. Okay. I mean, we could probably rush and take that quite quick. Then again, yeah, I don't always have to play like an absolute warmongering maniac Hitler type guy. It might be interesting to, to see if we can keep them sweet and maybe explore some of these diplomatic and espionage and trade mechanics that are in this game, because that might be fun too. Okay. I'm going to call this video at an end before I roll it on. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm sorry this one was a bit longer than normal, but I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know how you found it. If you see anything that I've done wrong or missed, or you've got any advice for me, because I don't claim to be particularly good at this game. I've only had it just over a week. So yeah, if you see anything, please give me some advice and tips, and I'll see you next time. Take care, guys.